Okay, in the previous video I was just talking about the selection procedure, and let me talk another experience that I have with this selection procedure for the Ministry of Internal Affairs. I think 2 years ago, so I think it was 2 years, there was another job opening at the ministry. It was for the bureau in Slovenian it's Urat, so it's not an agency. It's for basically, asylum seekers. They are in charge of asylum seekers for integration and welfare, well-being and so forth. So I applied. So this was, public call for applications, and applied. I got, the letter, to come to the selection, and they also wrote, what they will be no dej Lizi, kaj zdaj? Reč prevelika je. Greva tukaj, okay. So yeah, and in this letter they also wrote that they will be basically examining our knowledge on the appropriate legislation, and they also wrote, you should study this and this laws and these bylaws. Okay, no problem. I study, I go there, I came there, people start showing up, and it was around 100 people, a lot. There were several openings, and I think for several different jobs, and several job openings, have 2 or more, actual job placements. There are several people, a lot of people there. And, even before the start of the exam, just by listening to other people, I immediately knew that I will not be selected. Why? New Zealand. Piece of New Zealand in Slovenia. Why? Because a lot of people that applied to the same position were actually already working for this Surat, for this governmental body. Some were actually like interns, some were working at dislocated units of the Urat, and this posting was at their headquarters. So at the, let's say, main location. So, I immediately said, okay, this will be, a little bit tough, especially if, usually with these exams are, they are usually written exams, and then you have to, they have let's say a selected, then they call for the second, individual interview, selected number of people, usually, let's say first 5, first 10, with the highest scores, they select them. And when I got that exam, it was not just legislation. The questions were directly related not only on general knowledge of this URAT, this governmental body, but also on, let's say, quite specific numbers. How many applications did the URAT received last year, and so on. So immediately knew that I don't know these things, statistical data, relevant statistical data. So yeah, of course I wasn't selected, but this is also one of the problems with when you are going to you're applying to a job in the public sector. A lot of the time this selection process, which are officially open to everyone because of the legislation, but in reality, even though you have, let's say, higher education, relevant experience and everything, they will still at the end pick a person who is already part of the system, which is of course logical, because the person already is integrated, knows the, let's say, the inner workings of the Lizi, tukaj greva, še malo naprej, and inner workings of that particular governmental body, and of course they will pick that person and not an outsider. So yeah, fun times. Okay, and we will end on this point.